Man, what a start to the 2022 season. First, we have a rookie winning the Daytona 500. Hendrick is already back to their own goods. And then we get another rookie driver to win in only, the first 4 races of the season. And yeah, so Chase Briscoe, congratulations on your first career win. But then another thing about this race, it still has me wondering, and I've talked about this last year, why is this track hosting the championship? Hey guys, NASCAR Mobile 40 back again. Welcome back to another episode of NRR. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2022 Ruoff Mortgage 500K at Phoenix Raceway. I don't know if that's the name of it, Ruoff or Ruoff, something like that. Whatever. Anyway, the Ruoff Mortgage 500K at Phoenix Raceway, it was a pretty decent race and stuff. What I do have to say about this one is that out of all the 4 races we've had this season, this was probably the 4th best one of the year, but we'll get to that later and stuff. But like we always do, review our top 10 finishers. We're going to talk about Phoenix, which is technically the biggest story of this race, the track itself. Then we'll look at drivers who had a good, bad race, and then that will be the end of it. So let's go. Oh, also rate the race. Oh my gosh. Look, I just got back from vacation yesterday, so I'm a bit jet lagged, so let me get things back to, working order. So let's go ahead and review this race. Finishing in first was Chase Briscoe. What a race for Chase Briscoe and the 14 team, because they have actually been really competitive to start off the year. I mean, they finished 3rd in the Daytona 500, and then they've been having really good qualifying sessions like at, I wouldn't say Auto Club, because they didn't really do that well, but they still finished 16th. I think they started like 24th. But I'm talking about last week at Las Vegas. They had a really good qualifying session. They started 4th, but then they DNF'd in that race, and then he started 6th today. So yeah, Briscoe has been having some pretty good qualifying sessions to start off the season. So don't worry, Briscoe, he knows how to get it done in qualifying, but in the races, he's definitely got the finishes to show. But some people say, oh, this one was a bit of a fluke for Chase Briscoe. He wasn't the best car all day. And yeah, I'll admit, Briscoe was not the best car all day. But you also have to admit, he, on old tires, he was holding off Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott, the same driver that won at this racetrack to claim his championship 2 years ago. So that was actually not an easy task for Chase Briscoe. And well done, and credit to him and his team for the strategy and really a gutsy move to be on old tires and holding off a champion who's won here a couple years ago. So really strong day for the 14 team Chase Briscoe. They become the 200th different driver in the NASCAR Cup Series, which is a huge milestone. The last one who hit a milestone, I think it was the 175th winner. That was Brad Keselowski when he got his first career win at Talladega in 09. So really cool for Chase Briscoe. Wins at Phoenix. Also, another fun fact, he also becomes the first driver to get his first career win at Phoenix since the late Bobby Hamilton back in 1996. So a very cool milestone indeed for Chase Briscoe. And also forgot to mention, Briscoe is now also locked into the All-Star race with Austin Cindric. Finishing second was my boy Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain, these last 2 races, this guy has been on a tear, because he started 18th last week at Vegas, and he was able to get a nice solid 3rd place finish, and he finishes 2nd. That's 2 straight top 3 finishes for this man. Chastain just knows when to show up. Did he have a really good car? Probably not, but he was definitely moving his way through the field after he started 17th and stuff. So Chastain was having a really good day, a really, really, really good day. So yeah, I don't know what to say about that for Chastain. Just comes up oh so short, running in that beautiful K1 speed car. Man, a lot of people have been saying, Reddick's going to be the next driver to get his first career win. Not right now, because Reddick hasn't been so hot the last couple races. I'd give it to Chastain, because Chastain has been on fire right now. So watch out for him at Atlanta, possibly. He ran good at Coda last year, so he could make some noise there. So just watch out for Ross Chastain, but still a really good day for the number 1 team. They're just really looking to break through and get that first career win. But we'll see. Finishes 3rd last week at Vegas, 2nd today. Does he get P1 at Atlanta? Only time will tell. Finishing 3rd in Tyler Reddick, and I can't really discredit Tyler Reddick as well, because he was also trying to get the race lead away from Chase Briscoe on that final restart, because Reddick, he's pretty good at Phoenix. He's pretty good. Like, I remember in 2020, in his rookie season, his first race at Phoenix, he was running really well. and stuff until he crashed out in the race, which is very unfortunate. But Reddick's, he's pretty good here and stuff, but he did have to battle Chastain for that second spot, and Chastain eventually beat him and stuff. But still a nice third place finish for Tyler Reddick, which is technically his best finish of the season, and only his second top 10 finish, or this is actually his first top 5 of the season. So really, that's really reassuring, because a lot of people thought, oh man, he should already have more than one top 5. This is only his first, but can't really discredit him. Tyler Reddick, he was trying to chase down Briscoe on that final restart, just couldn't happen and stuff. We all know about Phoenix. It's really a one groove track with the PJ1. It's very hard to pass there and stuff, so he just could not get it done, just like Chase Elliott. So gotta think, it's not only the experience at the track, but the track is like very hard to drive on. So a nice effort for Tyler Reddick and the A team, but we'll just see what they can do at Atlanta. Finishing in P4 was Ryan Blaney. This is another race where Ryan Blaney leads the most laps, just cannot get the car in victory lane. I just don't understand it. Blaney needs to fire his pit crew. I'm sorry. It's just like William Byron last year. Byron had so many opportunities to win races and stuff, like Michigan, for example, and a few others, like Pocono. He had so many good opportunities to win races, but his pit crew held him back. This is exactly like what happened with Blaney in 2020, and it's happening to him now. A lot of good situations to where he'll lead the most laps, just cannot get the job done. So it does really suck for Ryan Blaney. They were having a good day. Heck, they won the pole for this race on Saturday, but ultimately get only a 4th place finish. Also his second top 5 finish of the season so far. And Blaney was having a really good day. He won stage 2, and just he had a lot of pit road trouble in the final stage, and he kept losing spots, and then that was about it. So it does really suck for Ryan Blaney, how it's unfortunate for him. But we're going out to Atlanta next week, or this weekend. Sorry, we're headed off to Atlanta this weekend, and he won there a year ago, but we'll see what happens, because this is a completely different Atlanta from last year. And rounding out the top 5 and 5th was Kurt Busch. Finally, something good going on for Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch has just been having the worst start to the season. I mean, yeah, he did get a top 10 at Auto Club, but that came late in the race, and he didn't get a top 10 at Las Vegas, his home track, and he's won there before, but he gets a top 5 here, and this has to be his best race so far this season with 2311 Racing, because he was actually running pretty well. He was running in the top 10, top 15 most of the day, and he just showed up late to get a nice solid top 5 finish. He kept his car clean, especially in that beautiful money line scheme, and they also made a shoe based on that, had the number 45 logo on it and money line. That's actually pretty cool and stuff. But yeah, a nice, really good, solid finish for Kurt Busch after just terrible luck to start the season, but they finally get something going the right way. Finishing 6th was Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick at Phoenix once again gets another top 10. That's 18 consecutive top 10s at this track all time, which ties the record between Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty for the most consecutive top 10 finishes at a certain track, and both Earnhardt and Petty have it at North Wilkesboro. Harvick has it at Phoenix, and Johnson is in 4th. He has the most consecutive top 10s at Martinsville with 17, but still a decent race for Kevin Harvick overall. I think, yeah, this is actually his best finish of the season, because his previous best finish was 7th at Auto Club. He'll get 6th today, so a nice finish for Kevin Harvick. He was running in the top 10 most of the day. He actually had a potential getting inside the top 5 or actually contending for the win, because he was hunting down drivers like Blaney and Elliott, just could not get the job done, and you got these younger, faster racers out of nowhere. So can't really discredit Kevin Harvick, but he had a pretty good day, and it's just cool to see Harvick get a nice top 10 finish at his track. Phoenix is his track. Some people would say Michigan, which yeah, I'd agree, but this is his track. Finishing 7th was Kyle Busch. What a day for Kyle Busch, because early in the race, he was running really well inside the top 10, top 5. He was having a nice, solid day, but then he started to fall back through the field around midway through the race. I wasn't sure what was happening. I guess his car was falling off, but then they were able to make some adjustments with some late race cautions coming out, and he was able to bounce back to get a 7th place finish. But overall, this was still not really a good day for Toyota. They have incidents with Denny Hamlin having incidents. I believe Christopher Bell, yeah, he had an incident, and Martrix Jr. So yeah, it wasn't the prettiest day for Toyota, but Kyle Busch still able to get a top 10 finish. But he's okay with that. That's his 3rd one so far this season. So really good day overall. Just a nice, solid recovery day for Kyle Busch. Finishing in 8th was Joey Logano. Joey Logano, he had a pretty quiet day. Logano wasn't really heard of in this race. He started 10th, gets 8th, so I'm guessing that's a pretty solid day for him. But nothing really else to say about Joey Logano. He was just up there. He had a really quiet day. He just kept his car clean. He was a top 10 car most of the day. So good for Joey Logano. Honestly, I don't know really what happened to Logano. Logano had a nice day. He was running in the top 5 at one point, but that's all I can remember. He was just having a good day. So good day for Giggles Logano. Finishing in 9th was Daniel Suarez. So both Trackhouse cars get inside the top 10. Very good day for the team and Justin Marks and Pitbull. But on the Daniel Suarez, he started 23rd in the race, able to get a 9th place finish, his second top 10 finish of the season. Suarez was running pretty well. He was just coming back from the back and was moving his way up to the front. And he was flirting with the top 10 all in all throughout the day, but then he mostly had to get that top 10 because on the final corner coming to the checker flag, he kind of got loose and then got into Austin Dillon, and Austin Dillon was having a really good day. He definitely had a top 10 car, but then he took out Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon got wrecked and went into the wall, and Suarez got 9th. So that's not very ugly. So that is very ugly. Sorry, excuse me. That was very ugly right there. So I don't know what's happened between those two so far. We'll just have to wait and see what Dillon says, but I haven't really heard anything. But I don't know if he'd be too happy with Daniel Suarez. So watch out. That could be another Phoenix rivalry. I don't know. We've been seeing a lot of Phoenix rivalries. Okay, we're not going to talk about the Clint Boyd, Jeff Gordon stuff, Fox, because that stuff is old. Let it go. Gordon's not even in the booth anymore, and they still talk about that. Anyway, you had the Suarez McDowell thing. They talked about that in the Xfinity Series booth. That happened 3 years ago. You also had the Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain incident. That happened last year, and now you have the Suarez Austin Dillon incident. So Phoenix loves creating rivalries. And as I'm looking at Austin Dillon's Twitter right now, it doesn't say anything about him mentioning Daniel Suarez, so I think that's okay. But watch out. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But moving on, finishing in 10th, and actually rounding out the top 10 is Chris Buescher. Buescher wasn't really having the best day. He finished, he started 26, and he was running like top 15, top 20 all day. But thanks to that late race caution and the crazy Phoenix restarts, he was able to jump from 14th to 10th. So really good day for Chris Buescher. They were just flirting with the top 10. They were in the top 15 most of the day, but very lucky to get a nice solid top 10 finish. So that's their first top 10 finish of the season. So I guess that's pretty good for them. And I actually think that's the first top 10 finish for RFK Racing. Oh, no, Keselowski finished in the top 10 at the Daytona 500. But other than that, this is probably the second one, because I know Keselowski these last 2 weeks, he's been a mess. But anyway, good finish overall for Chris Buescher. And now let's rate this race. Phoenix is one of those tracks, in my opinion, that are meh. But we'll get to that in a minute. This track is pretty decent. It's not the best, but I'll just leave it at that. We'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, this race was pretty decent. There wasn't really a lot of action, to be honest. There was a lot of drivers just running single file most of the time and stuff. So it was okay. There were some good moments at times and stuff, but a lot of fans love to see that going throughout, like we saw at Auto Club and Las Vegas. So this race was decent in my opinion. Wasn't really the best, so I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. I feel like this race could have been a whole lot better and stuff. There's definitely needs some improvement for this racetrack and stuff. But like I said, we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10 and stuff. It was pretty decent. I thought it was an okay race. Let me know what you guys would give it in the comment section below. Alright, so I wasn't sure what to put on screen, but this is what I'm going to say. So, talking about Phoenix Raceway, a lot of fans do not like this track, and I can see why, because this track doesn't really put on the best racing as a fan to watch. I bet some of the drivers have fun driving it, but as a fan's perspective, just watching it, it's not fun because and even Denny Hamlin even said this and stuff, because it's just with the PJ1 at Phoenix, it makes it a one groove track and it's like a freight train and stuff. No one's making passes, and also because it's hard to pass at Phoenix and stuff. And looking at one of the Jeff Gluck polls, it's saying that out of the 13 polls for Phoenix, this race was 9th, which is the bottom half. Showing that the best one was the 2020 race, and I don't really have any recollection of that other than Giggles Logano winning. And then the lowest one was the 2019 fall race where Hamlin won to punch his ticket into the championship 4. I don't really remember that, except Hamlin pumping his fist in the air, jumping on his crew, you're like, yeah, I won. So Phoenix, I don't really remember many Phoenix races that happened and stuff. I'm sorry for shaking the camera, but I don't really remember that many Phoenix races out of my lifetime watching NASCAR. But this is just like what I said last year. Like, why is this track hosting the championship? Because when this track was announced to be hosting the championship, I wasn't happy. I was not happy because I preferred Homestead. Homestead was one of the best, or still one of the best mile and a halves we have out here, minus Chicagoland, so Chicagoland's not on the schedule anymore. And just seeing it lose its championship date that it really deserves, it does hurt and stuff. But I'll admit that the venue, I've seen a lot of people's vlogs out at Phoenix and the venue there and the experience being there, it's awesome. It looks cool because you're out west in the desert. It looks very cool. But racing wise, it's not the best. And I think, in my opinion, that Phoenix is probably one of the most overrated tracks on the schedule because we have a lot of unique tracks like Darlington, Pocono, and Phoenix. And out of those unique tracks, Darlington's the best one. And then I'll even admit Pocono is worse than this track because Pocono, it's too much and stuff. So yeah, I'll admit, yeah, Phoenix is definitely not one of the best tracks out here and stuff. It's a meh track, just like Richmond and stuff, and it's very overrated. I can definitely see. It's just I don't really remember like a full on Phoenix race. Probably the best one I've ever watched would either be the 2016 or the 2017 fall race where you had the Hamlin Elliott controversy in that one, and also in the 2016 one you had Bowman subbing for Dale Jr. running very well in that 88 car, and you had also a lot of playoff drama going on as well. So that's probably the ones I could possibly remember saying like, oh, those were some really good Phoenix races. And the championship races were okay as well here. It's just that I just still don't get, like I said in my video last year when Truex won that race, is why is this track hosting the championship if it's not really that fun or exciting to watch, and fans don't really like it. And drivers like Denny Hamlin complaining about the PJ1 is ruining this track, making it only a one-group track. So that's all I have to say about Phoenix's stuff. Is like, if someone asks me, do I think Phoenix deserves to be a championship race? No, I do not think so. Does it deserve 2 races? In its current shape, after I saw this race, I would say no. I'd say Phoenix probably deserves only 1 race on the schedule and stuff. Now, I think it deserves it more than a race at Pocono and Michigan and stuff. There's a lot of tracks out here that Phoenix is better than, but there's also even more tracks that are better than Phoenix. So that's all I have to say about Phoenix. I think this track could be better. There need to be some improvements and adjustments and stuff. And I can't really fully discredit Phoenix that much because last year we ran the 750 package here. Well, first let me just say that when we ran here in the Gen 6 car and we're in this new next gen car, racing looks very similar. And you also got to think the new package has changed, because this race used to have a 750 horsepower package and we went down 80 horsepower down to 670. So that also could be a factor into that. So if that is a factor, and the only way to prove that factor is when we have our races at like New Hampshire, Bristol, Martinsville, Richmond, and all other short tracks that we have on the schedule. And if we see similar racing that we've seen with the Gen 6 car, or slightly a bit worse racing, then I think it's the package that we have and stuff. So that could be the issue, but we'll just have to wait and see for our next, shorter track race, which would be, we won't count Bristol Dirt, but I would say probably Martinsville or Richmond, whichever one of those tracks is first. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Phoenix. So here's some drivers who I thought had a good race. Starting off, Justin Haley. This matches as his best finish of the season. The first couple races of the season, he has not been doing well. These last couple races, he has been doing pretty well. So 17th, I'll say that's a good day for him. Ty Dillon, another comeback recovery like Las Vegas, where he gets 20th last week and he'll get 15th today. So this is his second best finish of the season. So really good race for him. And then finally Todd Gilliland gets 19th, so this is also his best finish of the season. So we got some drivers right here who are having a nice turnaround so far after a kind of rough start to the early part of the season. Still early through the season, but they're starting to make some adjustments and changes. All right, so here are the first 6 drivers that I thought had a bad race. Hamlin finishes 13th. He's been having issues all day. Still no top 10 this season. Not good for him. Elliott finishes 11th. He spun out during the race, and he was running really solidly in the top 5. Should have gotten the top 10. William Byrne finishes 18th, and he was running really well in the top 10, top 5. Heck, he won stage 1. Him falling back to 18th, I don't know what happened to him. Dylan, like I said, got in that wreck, or that incident with Suarez, finishes 21st after having a top 10 car. Keselowski 23rd. His investment in the Roush family Keselowski Racing so far looks not so good and stuff, because after his only top 10 at Daytona, his last 3 finishes have been 27th, 24th, 23rd. And then for Austin Cindric, he finishes 24th after he qualified 8th. This is what the 3rd time this season where Cindric qualifies good. Like, he qualified on pole at Auto Club, finishes 12th, qualified 3rd at Las Vegas, finishes 19th, qualified 8th for Phoenix, finishes 24th. So qualifying has been the good part for Cindric, racing has not been the good part. On to the final 5 drivers, starting off with Eric Jones up top. 2nd race in a row, he wrecks out and stuff with an incident, so he finishes 25th. Sucks for him. Number 7 of Corey LaJoie, he had his tire fall off his car, finishes dead last, 36. Larson had an engine issue after running really well in the top 5, finishes 34th. Christopher Bell also spun out during this race. He gets 26 after he started 4th in this race. And finally, Mark Truex Jr. wrecked out. He spun out and hit the wall. Pretty heavy damage. Finishes 35th after he was flirting with the top 10. And he still wasn't really having the best day after he won this race a year ago. So those are the drivers who I thought had a bad race. And that will do it for today. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for standing by with my review and my Phoenix rant during this video and stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. And also, another thing I wanted to point out before we go, Fox Sports, I am done. I am absolutely done. That parody party that they had in the pre-race show, I didn't watch the pre-race show and stuff, but the thing was, the parody party, I saw it after the race. I'm done. That was cringe. Done with that. Their pre-race is garbage. Not also to mention, I turned on the TV when the national anthem was playing. It was ugly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all of those who are doing the national anthem. I'm really sorry, but I had to admit, to be completely honest, the national anthem is probably the worst national anthem I've ever heard and can remember at a NASCAR race. I'll always remember that. So, yeah, that's something pretty bad right there and stuff. And then also, Fox kept bringing up the Boyer versus Gordon rivalry. Just let it go. They've already made that such a huge deal last year because this was the first year Boyer was joining the booth. But why do you have to mention that again? Gordon's not even in the booth. If you're gonna talk about rivalries, talk about the ones at Phoenix with current drivers who are still in the Cup Series, like the Suarez McDowell incident. They did that in the Xfinity Series booth. Well, they didn't have to because McDowell wasn't even mentioned in the booth. It's not like he was in it. Like, seriously, Fox is just. I'm done. After last week's pre-race show at Vegas, I finished. I'm done watching the pre-race show. I'm only going to be watching the pre-race show if it's the Daytona 500 or the Coke 600 and maybe Talladega, maybe Bristol Dirt, just the big venues that will be on Fox. But I will always watch the pre-race show for NBC because they actually know what they're doing. And so Fox is just treating NASCAR like a joke. That's what I'm trying to say and stuff. So that's it. That's what I just wanted to mention. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Should be uploading a video on my gaming channel later today, so make sure you subscribe down below, link in the description so you don't miss good NASCAR gaming content. If you want to check out my Instagram, link will also be in the description. I don't know if you heard me. If you want to check out my Instagram, link will also be in the description. And yeah, that's gonna do it. Please subscribe to this channel. Love you guys a lot. You guys are amazing. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. NASCAR Mobile 48. Peace out.